It's a connecting point. Like people are coming from north to going south. That is a connecting point for all the flights and all.
Well, it's a hub for Delta, and also I think a lot of infrastructure
Yeah,
was developed because of Olympics, right? At one point.
Ah, that makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah, that's true.
Hey, hello everyone. Karen is here. I just want to say greet all of you guys. I'm here in Nuremberg, Germany. We have a stream on YouTube going on live right now. We have 18 people attending the stream, and people will be jumping on the stream as we speak. So yeah, hello from my side. Everything is technically working now. Sorry for a small delay with the stream. Now everything's okay.
Karen, you are making us famous all over the world.
That's one of my tasks, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey everybody in the world on the camera. Here I am in North Carolina. All right,
people. Yeah.
So last week we finished the second lab. We're not even at the introduction to new attendees section, but let's go ahead and talk about last week what we did. We did the second of the Lex labs, and we were saying that we would possibly pick up on the Quick Labs Lambda, or we could do new stuff. All right. So with that said, we're an official AWS community users group. It's not we're not like unofficial. We're officially in there now, so that's good news.
Congratulations! Nice.
Congratulations!
Rock and roll.
Excellent, John.
Yep. I will show you an email that they gave.
What's the name? What's the official name of the group?
AWS RTP, or RTP AWS. I think it's like really my stuff is lame, so that's just what it is. And let's see, we'll share this tab here. I will just show you some of the things that they gave us here. So we should be there. I guess we are. We've got some AWS training and certification resources. They said this about Workshop in a Box. Now, I explicitly asked them if we could get that content so that we could do that like the next time, right? The other stuff is just events page. Let's click here and see what this is. I haven't done any of this. Okay, let's try to copy the link address and do it that way, since I didn't open, and share this tab. So I think I've seen this before. Yeah. Take a digital course. Let's see what we've got here. So what I'm trying to say is, what are we going to do for the next month or 6 weeks or whatever? Where are we going to start? Are we going to start doing stuff here, or are we going to do it via Quick Labs? So let's just see kind of like what they have. Let's look at this one. This is simple, fundamental. So you have to sign in. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. You sign in here. Before I sign in, let me share it back so I can see how I got to sign in.
Yeah, by the way, I also saw this page. It looks pretty impressive what kind of courses they got there. Very nice. John, can you share the link to this resource? I will share it also in the chat. The YouTube.
Yep, just give me a second. There was a problem signing me in.
So John, this is not visible to everybody.
Hold. I think that everybody can do this. Just give me a second. Let me at least see if I'm signed in, and then I got to sign out. So I'm signed in, and then I'm trying to sign in. All right, well, you want the link? I can't sign in. So here is the link address. I don't know how you sign into this at this point in time. But that's that. Let me, so here I'm signed out. Groovy. Let me try to sign back in. We can't, okay, let's create. This is odd. It's saying that they can't find me with that user. So let me try to do this again.
So basically, you have to use your Amazon account, not your AWS account. But probably for most of the people, it will be even the same.
You have to use your Amazon account, not your AWS.
Well, it's stated on the login page.
Okay, I didn't see
Once
that.
you try to sign in.
Okay, give me a second. A second. Oh my goodness.
I'm just confirming. I just tried my usual Amazon account, and it works fine. I just was able to log in with my Amazon account.
Okay.
Choosing all regions in my case. There are, like, you can choose different regions. China, Japan, I guess, and all regions. This is not an option, and I went for this option. It works fine.
Okay. I'm getting there. Just bear with me. All right, sweet. So I'm in. You must subscribe to free. Okay. All right. Enroll now. We'll see what it is. All right, so this is free. Okay, we'll see what happens if we launch it. Oh my God. Always allow. I'm not sharing the right tab. Okay. Launch course. Oh.
Welcome to Amazon Simple Storage Service.
So this is one of these things that's watching
This
a video.
at the completion. Amazon, their service level agreement, or SLA, is a commitment to maintain service availability. AWS guarantees that the majority.
I'm not a big fan of watching these videos. I'm hoping things. Personally, I'm not interested in these things where you watch a video, yada yada yada. It's a block storage system. I don't know. It's a bucket, I thought, but whatever. So enough of this. All right. So the question is, do you want to watch me watch a video, or do you want to watch me do a quick lab? And with the quick lab, you can follow along, and we actually have the AWS console up. We're not getting charged money for using it. and do that until we kind of figure out what's a better plan of action. So it's up to you guys. Let me know what you think. What does the stream think?
I just an idea here. I mean, you know what? Like this course is just about one specific service which they provide, and this one is really an old one. It's almost a game changer. I don't know, and it also goes for 10 minutes. Like this video is supposed to be for 10 minutes. It's stated somewhere there. Just an idea. Maybe we can watch it, discuss it, and kind of go for a hands-on application, where not application, but just a lab or whatever, you know, on Quick Labs, where we would play around with this service specifically. What do you think? Or is it like too basic for most of you people?
Well, so yeah. Well, here's the deal. The Amazon S3, we know what it is, right? Some of these guys, I think Ahmed, if he's here, he's already been certified at the first level of certification. So I think that might be a little too simple for him. It's definitely too simple for me. And then in order to actually do it, you're going to have to log in to an account to do it. It seems to me like you could just go and do the S3 lab that's available on Quick Labs in the same vein, right? And you're not spending any money, and people can do it on their end just as easily as they can do it on my end, or I can do it on my end.
So John, maybe you can just send an email that you watched this video before attending this session, and in your session we go through the lab. But people would have watched the video beforehand.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We could do that. I could send an email saying this is the lab before we do it. So we can do that, and then since we're already at the quiz time, let me back it up a second. Andrew has his talk that he is working on. And Andrew, you're muted. Do you want to say anything about that before we move on?
Well, we briefly talked about it last week, but it's I'm kind of conceptualizing it as a two-part talk. The first 20-25 minutes will be about the whole chatbot ecosystem. Not just chatbots, but also conversational interfaces. Why they have gained as much traction as they have thus far. Industries where they are being used. Industries where they could be used much more effectively, much more powerfully than they currently are. Some of my own personal philosophies about how a creative, effective conversational agent conversational interface could be created and implemented. And then the second part of the talk will be going through and looking at Lex and examples of technical ways to kind of connect some of the ideas that I addressed in the first half of the talk with the technical side. So that's it in a nutshell. And if you all have any feedback on that, or you don't want the more fuzzy stuff, then that's fine too.
So everyone, are we going to have Andrew's talk today? Is it the plan?
No. His plan is his talk is scheduled for the 27th. I created the Eventbrite page. I created the special meetup.com that Eventbrite points to, where it's listed on the meetup on the 27th. And Andrew's a co-organizer. He's already updated, I think, the description.
What time is it?
It's the regular scheduled time.
So it's the same time where we run our study AWS study groups, right?
Yep.
That's great. That sounds that Europe, at least Africa, and some part of Asia also can join this event. And I will also put it in our user group into Cloud Study Network. It will secure us much more people joining this talk. And we will be, of course, by default, live streaming it as well.
All right, groovy. Well, with that said, like I said, I've sent the email out asking for the workshop in a box. I've also sent the email out to AWS asking some more questions. When we get a response back from that, then maybe we'll know other things to do, and I will spend some time looking at these various training links and try to find something that we can do as a group where what I'm like today when we did the quick labs for GCP, it failed for me because I was trying to do it via the command line. Still don't know why it failed. I redid it again, not using the command line, and just buzzed through it in like 20 minutes, and it worked. And the reason that I was able to do that was the lady Diva who is in the group. She was doing a lab alongside the same time I was, and she said that it worked for her. So there was something that I did command line was not liked by the GCP system that if you do it via the UI, it works. So my take is, how about today we do the quiz and then do the Lambda lab, and then late next week I'll try and figure out what we can do differently, and I'll present more options. But right now, the only thing I've heard is send an email out to people, and I guess that's the people on the calendar invite saying this is what we're going to do, so that they can at least watch it beforehand if it's a video.
Okay, sounds great to me.
And one last thing, Karen put out a survey. Got somebody else joining. Karen put out a survey for last week. That was the first time we did a survey for any of my meetings, and that I could see the result. And it said that you guys liked the quick lab, liked the quizzes. I was kind of surprised at that. I thought maybe you were bored by them. So one of the other comments on the survey was, could we have more questions? And so I was talking to Karen about this, and there's two things. One is Karen has a tool that has some, it's a source for quiz questions. I'll try to incorporate those for next week. I just learned about it like 20 minutes ago. And then the second thing is, what I would like to do is, if you have a question, please send it to me via Slack. I will share again the presentation that has the link for the Slack. Karen's got his Slack. I've got mine. We're partners in this. But if you send it to me, I will definitely put it in the, there's the Slack invite there. I will paste that as well in the chat. If you're not in the Slack, get in the Slack, send me a question. If you send me one question with the answer, I will put it in next week's quiz. Please don't send me like 5 questions at a time. Let's just get one question at a time from people. Once I get the process down, we can start. You can start submitting 5 or something. So with that said, let's go ahead and start this quiz up. See if we can find it. Okay. me pull it up. Just give me a second. No, and I didn't even have time. Pardon me. I just now realized I didn't have time to update the quiz. This is the actual same quiz as last week. Here is the quiz. All right, so, and I will share this tab. And I will add it here. I'll play along with you. So currently I'm the only entry into AWS Quiz 3. Karen, did you see the link to put to the stream?
Yeah, I just got it, and I'm sending it right now to the stream chat. Everyone in the stream, on YouTube stream, please feel free to follow this myquiz.org blah blah link, and you have just a few seconds to join it right now. And in some time, like very shortly, John will start the quiz. We will go through it simultaneously. It's one of the rules. And you have to know, if you choose an option, answer option quickly, and rightly, it will benefit your score. So be quick.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't change your answer, but the faster you do the answer, the higher your score for the response is. And there's no winners or losers. This is just to get you something fun to do before we get into doing a lab.
There is a small latency, time latency between this chat and the stream. Stream is lagging like 10 seconds or so.
All right.
It could be a problem, I guess, because no, it shouldn't be a problem actually. It shouldn't be a problem. Once everyone is in the quiz, it has to go simultaneously. So basically, it should be okay.
Well, we've got 14 people in there. Do you want to start, or do you want to wait a moment?
Let's wait 10 to 15 more seconds.
All right. Are we good to go on starting this?
Yeah, I think we can go.
All right, very good, very good. Okay, let's see what we can do. Like I said, I'll play along with you. You can see what I'm picking. Or if you want, I can, pardon me, I'm sharing, okay, I'm sharing the questions, not my answers. The wrong answer there, it would be simple storage service, but it's simplex to make it a wrong answer. The thing there is, it's more than just for SMS. You can use it for all kinds of services, microservices that AWS offers. Didn't even see the next question was up. The thing here is Lambda is kind of a common parlance in Dart and Python for anonymous functions. Well, cloud functions in GCP is Lambda over here. Lambda in AWS land. So Lambda, we're going to do a lab on it today. It's a way to invoke a function given a trigger. The key on this answer is DynamoDB is a NoSQL database, and the other one is saying that he's a SQL database, which reminds me, we should some point in time, rather than using this myquiz.org, we should actually spend some time as a group to write a quiz app, web app.
You mean the quiz software, which will run all the questions?
Yeah, instead of using this website, we should make something like Lambda functions to do this. Right? You use Lambda's ability in a web app or whatever to do it. For instance, I would like to be able to make questions that have a picture associated with them, and you can't make a picture associated with them. And then some of the other quizzes that you can do that, you have to pay money for, and I really don't want to spend any money on this.
I had a similar idea of a project, also related very much to quizzes. Maybe it can be united. We have to discuss it.
Yeah, I'm not a web developer, so I know that you guys in your group definitely have some nice little web apps. They probably have people that would know how to do this pretty quickly.
You know, surprisingly, in our group, there are a few developers, but for the most part, our people are pretty much like admins, DevOps related, something like this.
Hmm.
But I'm very much into development because as a developer, you're actually creating new stuff.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember this, but I bet you it's A. I picked B. I can't remember if you do dash dash or not. Nope, it's D. So you're doing dash dash for everything, okay? So the dash dash foo equals is like GCP style, but you do need dash dash for these things. All right, no problem, Andrew. I have nothing to apologize about.
John, also we could come up with questions for the quiz related to actual topics of our specific sessions or study groups, you know. If, for example, today we are talking about Lambda, maybe we could have like Lambda quiz questions in this session.
Yeah, indeed. And I try to do that. So towards the end here, you'll see questions based upon Lex, because we were doing Lex for the labs. And then I need to answer here. For the for this one, I didn't have time to go in based upon Lambda, because I was like, oh, I'm not sure what we're going to do. I wanted to look at those links. I thought the links might have like some samples or something that we could do. I worked a little bit on this stuff yesterday, but I just didn't work long enough. It was mostly trying to create Andrew stuff and talking with Andrew and responding to Amazon and their emails.
Do you actually have a group instance somewhere on Meetup or somewhere else for this AWS group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so AWS RTP is on Meetup. And I updated I created entries for his stuff there, talked to him about what he wanted to do and what he wanted. And then I went into Eventbrite and made the links back, made him a co-organizer, responded to the AWS things yesterday. And then today I had to redo that lab. So that kind of cut in on that hour between the GCP meeting and this meeting. So I really just didn't have time to create new questions. But this will all kind of level out eventually, and we'll have it down. And I don't think it's that bad an idea just to go back through the AWS quick labs, because you first time through you kind of breeze through them, and then when you do them again, you have a little bit more insight in what you're doing. And these are kind of like Lex questions from when we did Lex. These are having to do with AWS Lex, these questions right here. The slots, I kind of think of them as variables. So like if you say what type of ice cream is available, and then you would say like, I want chocolate flavored ice cream. Chocolate flavored would be the slot or the variable. If you remember last week, our fulfillment was handled by the Lambda function that we wrote, and then the week before that, we had no fulfillment outside of the Lex chatbot. He was just giving an answer that was canned.
Yeah, it feels pretty convenient to use Lambda in this case.
So like a T1 is like what, 1.5 meg. I think there's like 24 channels, and that gets split up to like an 8 kilohertz signal. And they use a codec to compress 20 hertz to 4 kilohertz, your voice. So that's double the frequency that Nyquist theorem, so that you can encode it. And that's standard telephone. These are kind of simple questions, not very complex. We've been talking about Lex and Lambda, so everybody should know you should have the ability to tie Lex to Lambda. If you don't, no worries. The utility prompts are, it's like additional text. It's not the fulfillment, intents, utterances, yada, 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 but they are like, they help you. And you can comprise them based upon the slots that you built up for the Lambda, for the Lex. And I try to get as much of the CLI commands in here as possible, because I think once you kind of see enough CLI commands, you can tell that these are easy, right? Because everybody's getting like 90% on them. If you can do the CLI, then you can have a better understanding. And I think Andrew was talking about Cognito, or he was talking about it when he's talking to me. So I think that's going to be in his talk next week, or it's the 27th. So Amazon and Google, they both have a lot of like no programming or programming less ML deployments. And that's basically what Lex is. You're doing text and audio chat bots, mostly by pointing and clicking. You can just enhance them with the code. This is yet another way to look at that. Poly is doing the audio to text, and then the ML model is doing the text to prediction. Maybe it's not text to prediction, maybe it's saying text to breaking out the different components. The key here is, as you read that, it says you first define the actions. So basically, like the phrases were reversed. As soon as you read that, define the actions, you know you're not defining actions. You invoke actions. And then listing the contents of a bucket, you need to make sure you have a slash at the end. Otherwise, you'll just list the bucket. It's kind of like if you're in Unix doing an ls-d versus an ls. There's no winners or losers. I hate that I even do this with you, but I need to practice myself. So good job, Gopinathas and Darshan, Teoble and Ivan. Good job. Good job. Rosa, Karen, BJ, John M, and Vikmakarman. Thank you for playing. This is just, these questions will get better over time. Just bear with me. All right. So with that said, let's pull up one of the Lambda quick labs. Let's just buzz through it. I've done all these things up here. You can't do any of the Alexas because the Alexas are blown out. If you don't have a link, if you don't have an account at Quick Labs, let me show you a quick way to do that. Twitter, Quick Labs. Go here. Do something like click here, and then you enter this code. It will give you some free credits, and you can spend time on Quick Labs using their setup. Just remember, when you do go there to get an account, that if you ever see a URL that has google.quicklabs, all the AWS labs are broken. Make sure you're referring to it as quicklabs.com.
John, could you share the link to this specific tweet?
So yeah, there it is. I just put in, all I did was put in Twitter and Quick Labs, and it took me to that thing.
Okay.
Just, all right, so we'll do this one. This is we'll look at it here before we do it. It's kind of simple. It's telling us how to sign in. It looks like we're going to do a source bucket and a target bucket, and we're going to use the Amazon Lambda. Possibly, I think it copies it. So I think we upload a file here that causes the Lambda to trigger. The trigger then I guess he's looking through the policy to make sure it's okay, and then he copies it into a bucket. So let's see, let's reading this. Yeah, it detects the object created event. Based upon the object created event, it invokes Lambda, executes. He's saying here also when he executes the Lambda function, he passes that event data. The event data is probably the new object name. So we're going to learn something about roles. We're going to learn something about S3 buckets and Lambda. So this is kind of like a good general AWS lab. So here's how we're going to create the bucket. And what we're going to do is we're going to make resize. So it's not just copying them. We're actually going to resize them. All right. And he's just saying what the name of the function will be. It's a trigger. So the trigger is S3, and you're getting a create event in your S3 bucket. This is within Lambda. This is showing kind of how your setup is saying that his source is an S3, his destination is an S3. So here's a trigger. Here's the resources that he's using. I'm not sure what he's doing with CloudWatch. We'll find out. They're giving you the code. This is just the code that's in it. And kind of look at it. So it's Python code, it looks like. It's good, right? This is the path. So, interesting. He's doing something in /temp. Where is /temp within the Lambda function? It's interesting. And he's not showing the resize image code, but it's in the zip file, I imagine. And he's showing how to test it. And he's given like some JSON. I guess this is supposed to mock up the event when the trigger hits, what he generates. Can you scroll this? No. And then he's going to look at the logs with CloudWatch. That's basically the high level of what we're going to do. Nice thing about this also, this is a free lab on Quick Labs. So if you're worried about going through and trying to get credits, you can do this lab without even having credits.
Exactly. I totally forgot about it. This lab is actually free. So as long as you are registered with Quick Labs, you can just pick it and go do it.
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah, and so the nice thing about, I know people knock Quick Labs, but the nice thing about this is here you actually get on an AWS account, you're doing stuff, and it's not costing you money whatsoever, right? And so I find that particularly nice. All right, so here we're actually in a thing. I'm going to move this over here and come back to the instructions. And this is literally in, it's a sample AWS account, right? But it's managed by Quick Labs. All right, so they're saying start lab, log in. We've done that. He's saying create some buckets. So we're going to go to S3. We're going to create a bucket. The bucket name, images, and then some number. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not taken. Click create. That bucket exists. How about a 6? Okay, how about we'll do it like this. Do it in reverse. Okay, so we got a bucket up there. All right. You will now create it. So this is our input bucket. We're going to create an output bucket. Paste the name 4321. All right, and then create. Do not change the region. 4321 and 4321 resized. All right, and we're going to download a happy face JPG. Okay. Let's see. So it's a black and white of a guy smiling. It's 1280 by 853. Click the images bucket. So here, add a file. Let's see, what was that? Click upload. Upload. Where is upload? Do we do? All right, upload. Yes, and then we're going to add this. Okay, so we're going to add that picture. Click upload. All right, and we're now, so we've got something up there. Let's go back to services. Lambda's in compute. Right there it is. All right, so we're going to create the function. We're going to author from scratch. Give the function a name. All right. By default, it's Node. We're going to run to Python. Okay. Modify this. We're going to use an existing role. The existing role is Lambda execution role. This role grants permissions to the Lambda functions to access Amazon S3 to read and write images. So we're going to create the function. We're going to go kind of take a detour. We're going to come back to this, right? But let's look at IAM for a second. I don't know how you do it via. I don't think there is. I'm still learning. Let's look over here. See if we can see that Lambda function having it was Lambda execution function, right? Lambda was this role here. And it's a policy name, permissions. So he has the ability to read write S3. They put stuff in here for logs. We'll see if they use that. Just kind of poking around. It's interesting. The lab name is 2564. It's nothing. In Quick Labs, it's number 10541. All right, so whatever. All right, so let's go back to Lambda. Zoom where we left off. Create thumbnail. All right, so we've got our default function. We're going to add a trigger. We're going to say that the thing that's going to cause this Lambda function to execute is going to be related to S3. There's S3. We're going to select our bucket. That's our source bucket. And all object create events, which is correct. I'm going to scroll to the bottom and click add. I don't think we did anything else there. Scroll down to the function code. Look. Scroll down to the function code section. I thought this was the function code section. Bear with me a second. Do you have to do this? Okay, yeah. So what you had to click on this in order to get the function section to expand. All right. And they've given us in the actions menu, upload a file from Amazon S3. So this zip file, which looks like he's in S3 up there. Surprised I don't have like a ARN for it or something. All right. So we can't see the online editor. Such a pity. Okay, so scroll down and hit save. All right, basic settings. Edit. Streak 7. Handler. They're wanting us to rename. Okay, so they do want us to rename it because that zip file must have this routine specified. That must be the name of it. Control V. Okay. Click save. All right, so he's there. We should have looked at that code. They're saying invoke test. We're going to do an S3 put. Oh, there's a lot of Lex stuff right there we were talking about. S3 put. And the event will be called upload. All right, and here's a sample template. Replace example bucket here. We're going to put that with Images 4321. And we're going to, it's like everywhere it shows up. That's S3. Oh, here we go. This one down here. This ARN is kind of like a common way to reference resources. It's more than just S3. You could have ARNs of other things, I do believe. All right, so we've done that. Replace, instead of this test, this key, this should be the name of that file. That's the object. All right, let's click create. You click test again to invoke it. And here's where the results were. Let's see. That's that. All right, so let's go to S3. Let's look and see if we got a resized image. We do. This one's 2.6 kilobytes. This one was 128 kilobytes, so he definitely got resized. They're saying that you can view it here. Let's see. Open. Yeah, it downloads. So yada yada yada. You can see it in there. All right. On the services menu, go back to Lambda. That, by the way, that's, you don't pin things here like you do in GCP, but they'll show up kind of in your suggestions. So that's what that is. All right, let's go to monitor. They're going to ask us to go to monitoring at this point in time. So we got to click this and go to monitoring for this particular guy. So we got one invocation there. We've got one success. Throttles, yada, yada, yada. Click view logs in CloudWatch. So this should come up to the logs automatically centered around this Lambda function. It does. Click the log stream that appears. All right. So there's our request in the ending. Wow, that was it. That was all there was to it. That's all there is to this particular lab. Let's do this. Let's see if, now that we've uploaded it, let's see if we can view it now that he's had time to work with it. Nope, it's too big. Just for grins, let's look and see what he did with his code. Just give me a second. And I'll get us to that point. Find out what the name of that code was. Ah, I didn't download it, so I got to download it. Let's see if I can download it. Right, so I wish I could. Can I SSH to local host here? Let's see. SSH colon / / Let me see if I can do it over here. Okay. Enter. Let's see if I can collect here. I'm trying to. Bear with me a second. All right. All right. So what I did was I SSH to my local box, and let's just make dir foo, make dir goo. All right, and then wget. Let's see if we can get wget that URL. All right, so we got it, and then unzip, create. Is that font big enough that you guys can read?
It could be a little bit bigger, but I think it's also more or less readable.
Okay. All right.
Oh, it's much better now.
All right,
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what he dumped in there. But he looks like he's got like the Bodo library, right? The Bodo library is like some Python library for using AWS. You can see it has all this stuff: Cloud Formation, CloudWatch, Dynamo, stuff that we're not even doing. It's even, I don't know what docs are, Dynamo, yada yada yada, resources. Oh, this is just the library. Examples. Literally about it. Create thumbnail.python. So that was one of the things that let me so when we pull this over here, remember we put the handler was for create thumbnail handler. So here is create thumbnail. So when we actually edit that file, we'll find a handler function in there, I'm pretty sure. Or let me share this tab. We'll see here in this Python file, there will be a thing called handler. And we'll look at that in a second. This is just other stuff. There's like a whole bunch of code in here. Yada, yada, yada. It's like a lot of stuff. All right. So this is the only thing that he's got here. So let's just try something. Let's try to take this code and, whoops, there's more. Okay, there's still more. Let me do this. Okay, thumbnail.py. And what is it? PB copy or xclip? Do I have xclip? I do have. Oh, well, I'm not gonna be able to do it that way. All right, so let's do it this way. Just see if we can do it like this. So that's the end of it. Okay. It's just that much. Copy. There's no more to it. Okay. All right. So there it is. Let's just see if we can invoke, if we can modify this code. All right. So let's, we want to edit this thing. All right. Well, let's just do another function. Okay. We'll do that. Do that. Let's go back. Functions. Create another function. We'll call it, whatever, foo. See if you need to specify the Bodo library in there. All right, this is what we did, same as before. We're going to add a trigger. It was S3. And it was our bucket, create, enable trigger. That would, I don't think we did anything other than that. Okay, so we can't do that while this other one exists. All right, so let's go back. Delete this one. I can't delete stuff. All right, so you can't delete it and you can't edit it. What can we can do this. Let's try to take this guy and we'll make a new zip file. So just give me a second and we'll break whatever's there. So yeah, let's do this. Where was I? Where was the tab that I was sharing for the S? Share this. Okay. Quit. Zip. I don't know. X, Y, Z, zip. Create thumbnail.py. All right. What's the command for making a zip file? Man, zip. I thought it was just the zip file. Yeah, that's it. Zip a file. It's already a Unix file. Zip. What am I doing wrong? Which it was tar. I wouldn't know how to do it. So let's go to the end. Do they have a basic command is okay. All right, so that's what it is. I had it right the first time. All right, sweet. So we did that. All right. Let's go back to here. Upload a zip file. Upload. It was goo. Goo, yep. Foo.zip. All right, so we've got our code there. Now we don't have the library associated with it. I don't know if this is going to work, but let's try to see if it will. Where is the handler specification? The handler is in basic settings. All right, so let's edit this. Let's see if we do that now. Let's see if this works. Because this is the only thing that's in there, right? I don't think you need to. Maybe you do. I don't know. We'll find out. No, you need to have it as creating. All right, let's go back. Basic settings. Needs to be. All right. Let's see if we can test it. Before we do that, was I sharing this lab? Did I have this? Sorry. So I wasn't sharing the right thing. So here, what I did was I took that zip file up and then I dorked with this basic settings. And I thought maybe I didn't have to specify the file name beforehand because it's only one file now, but it turns out you do. So one other thing we could do, get rid of this. I wish that we could edit. Oh, we can. So we probably, can you delete this? So in reality, instead of having this folder, which is an artifact of the zip file, just creating one, right? Like new file. To see where that gets saved. Let's save it up at the top. See if we can do it that way. No, it's still okay. So this is the name of this thing. All right, here we go. All right, never mind. That's where that's coming from. It's from this. So there is just one Python file. Can we delete here? Yes. All right, so we got a new handler. Let's go to S3. We'll come back. S3. Let's go to resized. Let's delete this. Actions. Delete. Delete. Did that get deleted? Delete. Delete objects, yes. We can't delete it. Okay. All right. All right. Well, so Levi, let's just upload. I don't think it could be deleted because it's kind of like it's messed up. Let me come here and I'll create a new file name. Oops. This is in the downloads directory. Whatever this is a picture of. All right, so let's upload, add files, downloads. Oops. 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 Oh my God. Oops. Let's do. How do I specify a file without? There we go. Okay, upload. That's oips.jpg. It is an image. Okay, that's good. OIPS. All right, so on the test thing, when you try to do this is the test event, like you want to edit it, it's here. It's kind of hard to find. All right, so we're going to give it a different name. OIPS. I think this was like something to do with the quiz questions. All right, let's see if we can test that. That failed. No module name pill. All right. So the problem there is you have to give it all of the Python stuff, and that's the Python imaging library. And if we were to go back over here, you see there is no Python import for that, right? And if we go here, where share list tab, reload, not that one, share this tab. Right there is the Python image library. Right, so he was trying to import from there. If we were to look at this thing, and there he was trying to import it, and then that was how he was going to do his resizing of the image. Well, so that's that. That's about all we can do, but it didn't cost us any money, which is good. So I'll stop sharing. That's that. Any questions or anything anybody wants to talk about relative to that?
No, I think it was a great session, all in all. Nicely, we got this Lambda lab for free this time. Yep. Next times, if we mess with quick labs, we have to figure out how to get credit. And as we posted in chats, hunt for this credit points by quick labs. There are campaigns going on constantly. Monitor a LinkedIn page of quick labs and also Twitter page, and you can frequently get some credits, which you can use either for GCP or for AWS, or maybe you can get a free month of your.
Yep. Come here. Yeah. All right. Well, that's that then. I appreciate you guys showing up, and thanks a bunch again. I will.
Okay.
Next week.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, John. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, John.